Hello, welcome to Midlife with Mystics and Misfits. I am CeCe.
And I'm Jen.
What's up, girl?
Nothing much. I just literally walked in from work and I grabbed some eggnog.
Ooh, yeah, you're a superstar.
I like put it on my healthy cinnamon and
Mm,
I wanted to chat and catch up with you and see how you're doing.
I am doing fantastic. I have a good question for you today.
Oh, ask me. Okay, go.
We're going to get right into it.
All right.
Tell me how you like to be loved.
How I like to be loved.
Yes.
This is a glasses off conversation, I think.
We getting serious now, down to the
Okay,
nitty
how do
gritty.
I like to be loved?
Yes.
Hmm. Mm. That's interesting. So I've done a love languages quiz and there was, what's it called? Gifts, not gifts. Sorry, acts of service.
Yes.
Those are the biggest, strongest kind of I like those the most, but I have to be honest and say that I am so greedy. I like it all. I want words of
Right?
affirmation. I want the love. I want the physical touch. I want the gifts.
You want them all.
Me time and the acts of
Yeah.
service. Give them all to me. What about you? What have you?
Well, that's so funny. That's so funny that you said that. Well, I mean, my main one is physical touch. I'm like the hug me, love me, cuddle me, like just be up all on me. Um, from my husband anyways.
Yeah.
But I'm like quarter, quarter, quarter. I'm same. I'm like quarter, 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 quarter all the way through. And I think probably I'm sure most people are, which is
Yeah. I've
right.
actually, although I mean, I have the, I don't know what the word is. I've had the pleasure of dating quite a
Ooh,
bit. And
yes.
there have been people who are very clearly dominant in one. And then there are people like me who I just say it's greedy. I just like it all. I'm not sure if it's greedy, but I think it's just, I appreciate the way people show love. And I know that I do have a preference for how I receive it, but give it all
So
to me.
do you show it so your dominant one is acts of service. Do you show it to people? Do you find that you show it to people the way you want to be loved? So do you feel like you create acts of service for people based on the fact that that's what you want to receive back the most?
Great question. I would say with my children, yes. Yes, absolutely. Um, and in romantic relationships, no. No. Yeah.
That's
I
super cool.
yeah, I would say that I have it's actually interesting now that you're asking because what I have found is, when you have kids and you're like literally head down young children and you're touched out. I was
Yep.
still married at that time. So don't touch me. Absolutely don't touch me. I was like, in fact, it was the opposite. It was the ick. I was like, no, I do not want to be touched. I do not want any of that. So, I don't know, as somebody who loves physical touch, I don't know if you ever felt like that, but I am completely, so I think in every season, I have a different need or want.
Mhm.
And so in where the season I'm in now, I would say no, I think I prefer to show love in ooh, I don't know. Physical touch maybe? I think I'm a more of a physical toucher. I
More
give, but I think it's because maybe that's what I assume until we have a really, in-depth conversation what they're
yeah.
looking. What about Chris?
Gotcha.
What are you like a physical touch giver too?
Oh gosh. Oh gosh, yeah. Not as well, not as much anymore. So, I mean, we're so blessed. And for our viewers, if you haven't looked up your love languages, it's really easy to do. So
Mm,
go look into what your love languages are and maybe what your partners are if you have a partner and see what that looks like because before I knew anything about love languages, which is I think I only learned about them probably 5 years ago, So for the first 20 years, I was always after Chris. I was always like, hug me, love me, kiss me, touch me, like, right? Like, I was like that with him, but he was never that way with me, like, never ever. So when I read about the love languages, after I like read the book on it, he was in the kitchen and I walked up to him and I'm like, I'm sorry. He's like, "What are you sorry for?" I'm like, "I've literally been showing you the way I've been giving you the love that I want to receive for 20 years and chasing you around the kitchen and driving you crazy
Yeah.
because his love language is, I think his main one is quality time and then, words of affirmation are his too. So they're very different than physical touch, right? So we talked about it and I had asked some questions about his, it's how we like really defined what his was. And I'm like, no wonder I've never felt that like the love back that I needed because I've been choosing to chase you around in my own love language to try to get it back the same way. And that seems to never work, no matter if it's like a friendship or a love relationship or whatever, right? Like, I feel like it's so important to understand how someone wants to be loved so that you can actually do that. So I told him, I'm like, all right, from here on out, because I'm consciously aware of it, I'm going to stop chasing you around. I'm
Ooh.
like, I will in turn love you the way you want to be loved and now it's on you to love me the way I want to be loved. And I'm like, so from now on I'm going to stop the chase and I'm going to stop the like hug me, kiss me and everything else. And I'll leave that to you. And I'm like, and let's see where it goes. And sure enough, boy did it take all the pressure off and boy did it open up like a ton of space for both of us. It was
Wow.
like breathing room. It's like we both exhaled because now all of a sudden the conversation was more around now I have to think about how does he wanna be loved?
Right.
Does that make
Right.
sense?
It
Like,
completely does.
it was such an eye-opening pivotal moment when I saw him standing in the kitchen and I'm like, "Oh my god, this poor man. This is so not his love language," and I've been, like, forcing it on him for 2 decades, right? And then
Yeah.
as soon as we talked about it, it was like it's just like we both had this big breath, and now he does love me the way that I wanna be loved without me having to, like, chase him around for it. 'Cause now he knows mine and I know his.
Right. Would you say that he missed the chase, the physical, or was that something that he felt relief about?
Oh, no, he totally felt relief about it. Cause it's just n like, it's probably, like, 3rd on his list, but it's not, like, priority on his list. For me, it's, like, my top thing, and it still is to this day, and I never had that ick with the kids because it's always been my top like, it's
Right.
always been physical touch has always been, like, my thing. Um, and like I said, I think it's part of his thing, but it wasn't the dominant it's never been the dominant one, ever. So,
Sure.
yeah, so no, it wasn't, something that he didn't miss me chasing him around because then it gave him an opportunity to actually show it that way and chase me around for a change, right?
Right.
He never had the chance because I was always after him, like, everywhere
So
he
you've
went.
never had a season where another one kind of became more dominant?
No, not for me.
Wow. I love that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, it's wild. That one for me is the very dominant one. I hold characters for each one. I love each one. I'm the same thing. I have seasons for each one that I love. Words of affirmation are probably the second dominant one on there. Um, so yeah, just so interesting.
I'm going to
Like so
retake the
interesting.
test. Because the last time
Ooh,
I take it quite often actually when I am chatting with somebody new or, even at a girls' weekend, we've kind of all like sat down and we've done this test. I always come out like right down the middle. Boom, 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 boom. Yes,
ooh,
acts of
I
service are
love
what
that though.
help me see it more, like, I appreciate it, I think, the most, which maybe
Yeah.
doesn't sound the greatest. And I could do without the physical touch, and yet here, I mean, because that's probably the least even though it's all divided equally, and yet I think most people would say that that's the way that I show love the most,
Isn't that
except
funny?
yeah. And it's so interesting because my own children I've had them kind of take the test. And my oldest very much my youngest is very cuddly. She's very much a physical toucher, like you.
Yeah.
She's, like, all up in his face, and I'm like, "Oh, can you just mommy loves you, but just from over there." "Okay, okay, okay.
From an
Okay.
arm's
Can
length, get over there.
can we okay, can you just" and she's, like, right up here. She sleeps with me. She's slept literally,
Aw.
she's 13. She's, crawling in my bed constantly, and, like,
Aw.
I just took a picture the other day, and, like, I had this much room, and then the 2 of them were in my bed, and I'm like, I mean, they're 14 and 13, and so
Aw.
it is really sweet, when you think about it.
Oh my god, cherish that, trust me.
Yeah, yeah, and so I do, but, my oldest is not like that. She's
Yeah.
very much me. She's got her own thing, and then sometimes, she's been upset or she's been hurt, and so it's kind of like I'm not sure what she's needing at the time. And so she's
Mhm.
got really, really good because I said, "This is my first time doing this mommy thing. I'm going to need you to be a little bit better at your communication because I don't know what you need.
Give me
Um,
direction.
yeah, please just tell me what I can do because sometimes it's wrong and no matter what you do." And she's like,
Absolutely.
"I need a hug." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, okay. Yeah,
Hug you. I'll hug you.
I can
Yes,
do that."
please. That's so
Yeah,
that's so awesome that you asked that.
yeah.
So cool. I never got to ask that when the kids were small. I never knew anything about it.
Mm,
So my daughter is not physical touch. So when I get together with her and I only see her a couple times a year, I'm like, "Come to me," and you can just feel her. She's just like, "Oh, that's not her thing either
yeah,
at all." It's wor
yeah.
for her, probably quality time and words. She's a lot like Chris, quality time and words of affirmation. She might tell me differently, but yeah. Isn't that funny, eh?
It is. And so, what do you think? And I honestly, I don't even know if, and I know what I would think is a lot of what each one means and is and how it shows up for different people, right?
Mhm.
Because like with physical touch, there's the sexual and then there's the non-sexual, right? So it depends on,
Absolutely.
you know, um, what do you think? Um, like how do love language develop? I guess like I can guess,
Yeah,
but
I don't even know. I don't have an answer for that. I have no
yeah,
idea. I have no idea. I mean, coming from, like, a family of 6 kids, everyone's very different, so I don't know.
yeah. Why do
That's
you
a great
need what you
question. If
need?
any of our viewers know, please put it below because I'm not gonna
We
pretend to
wanna
say that I know what the answer to that is
yeah.
at all.
I just wonder, why we need what we need. Did we
Yeah, I
not
don't
have it as
know.
a child? Did we just something that's a preference to us based on like for me, I can feel the seasons of my life and what I need is even with a particular person, right?
Yeah.
And I always try to show up with complete gratitude for how their love language and how they show love. Have you ever come across with a friend or, somebody else, where your love languages didn't align? I mean, yours and Chris's didn't, but
Where it's
have you ever tried to be in a relationship or like cohabitate or with your family members even, how did it work when it was so different, or the relationships when you can choose them, because families we can't sometimes choose, but when we get into friendships or relationships, like I've dated people that I'm like, yeah, this is not going to work.
you're like, "Yeah, no."
No, and it's just
Um
basically love language, essentially that's it, right?
Yeah. Well, and I think for only having known about it for 5 years, I think, like, even before that, it was more of a vibrational thing because I
Mm,
didn't know maybe the words behind it, but it was
right,
more of like a frequency vibrational thing in being around people, like, and then figuring that out that it this is not gonna be for us, like, no. Right?
right.
Like, that goes with friendships. I think it goes with family too, to be honest, and
Hmm.
it can go with family as well. So, no, we don't get to choose our family, but we do get to choose what we do with our family, right? And even sometimes that I think that's a vibrational mismatch too, depending on what the circumstances are. It's a really good question. I was journaling today, or was it today? Yeah, I was the yeah. So that I was journaling and I was thinking about this today, and I did realize that one of the elements in the way that I do like to be loved is, and it's not, I don't think it's part of any of those four things. It's like outside of that. And I think there are many realms outside of those things too. But it's about, and I was like, I got really teary today when I was writing it because I'm like, this is interesting. I've never come to the recollection of this is the way I love to be loved, but I love to be seen. I wrote that to you last night. Like, I love to be seen for me without an agenda or without like a box
Yeah.
that someone's going to put you in to fit their narrative. Like, I just love being loved for the person and the authentic person that I am at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And with all the mess and with all the good and with like everything in between. And
Yeah.
I love to know that I'm shown up for that way. And that I
Mm,
was like, that is a different way from physical touch. That's a very different way of of being, like, of feeling loved, I guess.
right.
Right?
I
So
I feel that so deeply in my core, and I think, I mean, at the base level of all of those love languages, I don't even know if we went into what each of them were. I think I did
oh,
a little.
yeah, you did a
Um,
little bit.
yeah, but it feels like at the core, no matter how you're being loved, to
Mhm.
be loved, just for being authentically you is something I
Yes.
think I know I feel. I know, that's the when
Mhm.
you feel that, because very why do we very rarely feel that? We have to put on this mask or this, persona, social self, whatever we want to call it,
Yeah.
to appease or make what we believe somebody else wants to see. But I think that's the best part about this chapter for us is this
Yeah.
setting, this coming back to self, this kind of taking off what no longer serves us, because we're showing up
Yeah.
unapologetically, and this is us.
Yeah. Exactly. Taking and it's like so I'm sure you've felt the same way over the last little bit here, but when you take off all the masks and you stop performing the performance for everybody else,
Yeah.
you really do see who loves you for who you are.
Yeah.
Like you really get to see
Mm.
that. And I think there's some mourning that comes along with that because the people that maybe you thought and expected would take you for who you are
Mm.
as the clean slate are the ones that don't often show up that way. And then you've got the great ones that stay and that do. But it's been an interesting, I think, look at who does and who doesn't love you for you. They loved you for the performance you played.
Yeah.
And
I
I
said
hope
this
that
to
resonates
somebody.
with other people because I think that's a big thing.
Yeah, it is. And I said this to somebody, a few months ago, I remember. Um, this person was going through a really difficult time and was embarrassed about where they were in life. I think I'm putting my judgment on that. They never said that, but it felt like that in the explanation and the way that it was presented to me. And I looked at them and I said, if I can't show up and love you at your worst, I don't deserve you at your best. And I think that was something so profound for me to even say. And I was like, oh, then that means the same thing for me.
Yeah, you gotta
If
love
people can't love
yourself
me at my worst, they don't deserve me at my best.
for sure, and we have to love ourselves at our worst so we can show up for ourselves at our best, right? What a mirror reflection inwards.
Yeah.
Holy. But
Because there have been chapters where it's been messy and I'm like, "Oof, oof." And I could look at it as shame. I could look at it, from a standpoint of, "Oh my god," like, you know, yeah, judgment. And or I could choose to look at it like, "Woof, well, when I know better, I do better. I know better now."
right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, the other night, with the other night we did our podcast and we each had a glass of wine, and maybe I continued to drink some wine after we got off our podcast.
Maybe.
Maybe a girlfriend came over, and we, we had a great night. We just chitter chatted and giggled
Yeah.
all night long and had some great
Yeah.
conversations. And at about 2 o'clock in the morning, I kind of woke up and I was hungover. I had the dizzies. I had the headache. I was not feeling my best. And my first response to myself was, God, why were you so dumb?
Mm.
And I haven't gotten hungover a lot in my life, probably like 3, 4, maybe 4 times, but
Mhm.
that is the internal response I get every time I do it. So when
Mhm.
I journaled about that, because I was like, there's got to be something there, because
Mhm.
that's a weird thing to say to yourself when
Mhm.
you had a good time. It's not like I hurt anybody or did anything weird or like nothing. I was literally having a few drinks in my living room. And yeah, the conclusion I came up was because at some point in time, I must have that not being in control must have created some shame around it. So not loving myself even in that moment of feeling like absolute yuck, right?
Mhm.
From a few good
Mhm.
glasses of wine. So, I mean, the way we love ourselves, it reflects outwards eventually, right?
Mhm.
Through, internal judgment or external judgment. So I had this like really cool dialogue with myself around where that came from. And I'm like, well, that's it. If that ever happens again, I'm just gonna hate hate the hangover, but have enjoyed the ride, right?
Right? And the
Which
and the
is part of
chat and the
loving.
laughs and the conversation and
Yeah,
all of the beautiful things that came out.
all of it. Yeah,
I
all
love
of
that.
it.
Well, and I've had something, I mean, I've similarly done that with alcohol, but I've also done it with like food. I've also done it with going to a party and saying something and then you come back and you're like, "Oh,
Oh
I
God.
probably shouldn't have said that. Oh my god, why was I talking like that? Oh my god. No, why I was too authentically real." Like and you just so I mean, we've all done that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
It's so interesting. And it all weaves in and out of the core being of love that you are. Like, it's so wild that we love ourselves now to stop performing and just be who we are. But to
Mhm.
look back on it, it's like it's so wild that I like that. Well, I mean, I'm not going to speak for you, but I covered that up for so long, like that portion of myself up for so long. It's so interesting, like so interesting.
And it's so I love that you're so I love that we're in that space of, because it's not just you, it's me and I think many other people,
Mhm.
of in that I'm starting to live authentically and really just owning me. So when
Mhm.
those things come up and you question, well, why? Like, why am I? If that was somebody else, wouldn't I say, "What are you talking about? You had a really great time." Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I was laughing
totally.
with you, going, "Oh my god, that's amazing! I love it." When I called you and you're like, still like,
Right.
"Oh god, this has been a day."
Exactly. I'm like, I'm too old for this. You can't recover as good anymore. Oh my God. No, you can't. You can't. Not at all.
No, and I love that you had that aha moment of, yeah, no more. No, I'm not gonna make myself feel bad for having a good
N-
night in my home with a
No.
friend.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's so silly that whatever program that is wants to shrink you so much so that it tries to make you never do that again, which stifles the love of having a friend over and the love of having a glass of wine
Mhm,
and all of that. Like, it's
mhm,
so crazy that we have these intense things that hit us that tries to shrink us back. Like,
mhm.
it's just it's wild to me.
So loving self and then getting love from others in a way that we need is
Mhm.
so that this is where we're heading. And so communicating to self first and then to others
Yes.
second. Um,
Absolutely.
what would you say for I'm going to Chris if so
Yeah.
what would you say he would
Mhm.
say about that? would he feel like where would the judgment come? Do you think it was placed upon you from society, from, family, from where do you think it came from?
Yeah, it definitely didn't come from Chris. He's
No.
been with me. He's been with me every time that I've done I've had too much to drink like that. Um,
Please, I've
and
phoned you
it's
guys and he's like, "Well, it's lunchtime, time to make a martini."
oh, yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
You sure you
exactly.
had to make this new one?
Right? Yeah, he's so laid back. He's always been really laid back that way. No, through our whole entire marriage, he's always been like the best supporter of
Mm,
everything. So he's never consciously made me feel shame for anything, which
mhm,
is beautiful. I
mhm.
mean, has he been a jerk sometimes? Yeah, marriage does that thing, right? We both have it. We've both been assholes to each other,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
he's
yeah.
never consciously created shame around something like that. So that never came from him. I honestly, I think that came from growing up Catholic and,
Oh,
being told this is right, this is wrong, don't do this, don't do that, and everything else. And it was always my parents' voices were always very big, I think, on all the kids. And I think when I had my first drink, I think I snuck a cooler when I was like 13 and
mm,
it was a vodka cooler and it wrecked me. I was felt horrible. No one knew about it. My parents didn't even know about it. But in the back of my head, all I could hear was, "Oh my God, I'm gonna go to hell now," and like this is bad, right? Like, so I think
uh,
I created that stigma for myself along the way, and it's just apparently it's still there. Apparently, I mean, it's not anymore because I'm now aware of it, but
right.
it stuck until the other night there.
And
And it was
now
like a third person watching my voice. It was a third person watching me say that to myself, and I could, like, literally feel, like, my higher self being like, "Are you ridiculous? Like, why are you you're not dumb. Like, you just had a great night out." Like, you or
yeah,
a great night in, rather, right?
yeah, yeah.
So, yeah,
Oh,
do you have anything like that? Like, do you have anything programs that run in the back of your mind like that over the years where you're like you can look back on it and be like, "Well, that was absolutely insane that that program ran."
yeah. One of the biggest things is, not working hard enough.
Mm,
And so, if I rest, it feels lazy or it
mhm.
feels like,
That is such a
weak.
huge one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Spending money that I have, but if it's
Yep.
frivolous or, something that I feel is frivolous,
Yep.
yeah, so those are the things that I would say I've had to really, and continue to, just again, it just shows up in, yeah, I grew up poor. Yeah, we did. Very, very poor. So money was something that we had to really work for or my mom had to really work for. And so it's been something that I've had generationally, and money has been important for both sides of my parents because they were also
Mhm.
poor. So this is kind of the generational things that I recognize. Um, and so I've really tried to stop it in my own children, but now I just think they're spoiled.
Ah!
They think that they're like, "Mama, mama," and I'm like, "No, no, this is not how it works,
Here's "Boop,
guys.
boop, boop, boo, your bankroll." Right?
No,
The
no, this is
pendulum
not how
swang
it
way
works."
too far the other way.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's good because eventually it will come back to somewhere, in the middle.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. There was a really good book that I read. I do not remember what it's called. My daughter gave it to me. Um, so my daughter is way more successful at 25 than I ever was by the time I was 25, monetarily, probably mentally at that age even. She's just an amazing human being. She said, "Mom, read this book." She's like, "It will change how you view the way you hold on to and spend money." And I'm like, "What?" So I'll have to give it to you because it was, like, really eye-opening, but it basically showed how however you do that, you save or spend money or don't or whatever the case um, is usually falls on the way your mom did. And when I read that and I looked back on it, I was like it was such an eye-opener of, "Oh my god." It's the last thing I wanna be like, right?
Right.
That's not right? but it was so crystal clear on how that pattern was just like it was taken over,
Yeah.
right? So I like through our when the kids were small, I always gave everything over myself. So everybody got everything and I got nothing. And that's exactly how my mom worked. Unless it was groceries, I always had a full fridge when the kids were young. I never minded buying groceries and stuff like that, and that's exactly how my mom was. It was
Mhm.
so crazy. She never got anything for herself or did much for herself, not until much later in life. But she made sure that the family was taken care of. And I was the same way.
And so what a mirror.
What a mirror. It's so crazy.
'Cause
Yeah,
now that you're
what a
holding that
mirror.
up, I'm like, "Oh, yeah. Okay. I see. I see.
Yeah,
That's
and you go
crazy."
isn't it? And you go, "Oh my gosh, I didn't even know I was unconsciously doing the exact same things." Right? Which kept them in a certain spot, and I was like, "I don't wanna be in that spot. I don't wanna stay the same way, and I deserve what I if I deserve things too. Like, I deserve to make sure that I have, non-holy underwear." Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it was, like, one of the last things that I would do for myself, and I'm sure
Yes.
there's viewers out here that do the same damn thing. You give to everybody else, and you got underwear that's 9 years old in your in your drawer, right?
Buy a nice pair of panties, will you,
Yeah,
folks?
exactly. Go buy yourself something pretty,
That's
right?
right. It's so true.
Yeah.
I often say to people when I do readings, and even friends when we're having conversations, you have to fill your bucket first. It's the same with, an airplane. Put on your own mask and then you can save,
100%. A
And
hundred
yet
percent.
we don't do that as women,
No.
especially for me in the people that I surround myself and have surrounded myself with, even myself. I take last. And
Yes.
give, 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 give until I eventually literally crumble, depleted. And then
Yeah.
my youngest is like, Mama, 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 I need a smoothie. Mama,
And you're like, "Make your own smoothie."
make your own. But it's just like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, when does this stop? So this is the love. This is the
This is
self-love,
this is
right?
literally the self-love, and if we don't give it to ourselves, how the heck are we giving it to anybody else out there, right?
And
In
how
the
are
way
we
that they
showing
need it.
people? How are
Yeah.
we showing people how to love us?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's ever since I figured this out for myself. So the last 5 years, Chris is such a huge proponent of, "If you need something, I'm gonna get it for you."
Mhm.
Like even for this season, he's like, "You need new boots." And I'm like, "Well, my 5-year-old boots are fine." "No, you need new boots." He's like, "Your feet need to be warm." So he took me out for boots and he got me a couple sweaters and stuff like that. And that stuff is for me now just a reflection of my own self-worth finally, because I finally feel okay. I don't shrink with it. I'm not like, "Oh my god, I have to go, I have to buy something for me."
Mm.
He's even mirroring now my own self-love and self-worth just via that kind of stuff. So it does start to reflect back eventually, which is kinda neat to watch and go through. But
Yeah,
it takes some time. Like, it takes some time for those old programs to shut up.
it really does. And so mine is less about buying stuff because I have to say, like, when I've really started knowing that if I want something, I'm going to get it. I work hard enough,
Mhm.
I'm going to grab it. For me, it's the acts of service, but it's the same thing. So when somebody shows up and does something that takes something off my list of to dos, I'm
Mm.
like, oh,
You're
yes,
like, "Oh my
yes.
god."
Yeah, and so it shows me that, you know what? Okay, I can ask people for help. I can,
Mhm.
I've had somebody tonight just said, "Can I help you with report cards?" Or I was like, "No, no, 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 I'm good. I'm good. I'm good." And yet I'm like, "Oh no, that would have been a really big help actually. Thank you." I should have just said that, right?
Right?
But this is the kind of dance that we're doing, the old programming that needs
100%.
to
Oh
just
god,
kind of
yeah.
yeah.
We're never in it 100% where everything's always reflected back. We're always learning. We have to. It's like baby steps. You take a couple forward, you take a couple back, you move back and forth between it,
Yeah.
right? And away you go. I had a a good friend of mine. we were talking, and she was saying how her husband's so lovey-dovey. Same thing, chases her around the house, just can't get enough of her. Saying they've been married for about 20 years, and she's like, "God, like, it's, and I'm like, well, I'm like, I said, "What's your love language?" Acts of s Hers is acts of service too. And I'm like, "What would you say his is?" "Oh, physical touch for sure." I'm like, "Dude," I'm like, "He's literally showing you how he wants to be loved." I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm like, "Are you ever like that with him, like, where you're chasing him around?" And she's like, "No." So I told her my whole story about me doing that to Chris, and she was just like, "Bing." She's like, "Oh my god." I said, "And I bet you any money if he does the smallest thing of an act of service for you, you're, like, over the moon." She's like, "100%. Could be the smallest thing. Could take the garbage out without being asked. It's, like, the smallest thing." Right? And it totally fills her cup up, and I'm like, "Well, that's what he's trying to emanate to you is his cup's not being filled up
Mhm.
because you're trying to show him acts of service." And she's like, "Yeah, that's what I try to do." And he could care less. And I'm like, "Bingo." So she was like, she went home, they talked, they had the best night, like, things have
Mm.
completely shifted because it was just this one small, like, paradigm shift of you're just loving each other the way you wanna be loved, and you haven't figured out even after 20 years, it's common that one wants to be loved or needed to be loved a certain way to have their cup filled.
Yeah. And I know
And
when
I
I was married, it wasn't something we ever discussed.
no,
And so the fact that, okay, so people who are listening who have been, I am, in the dating world and much more versed in this kind of lingo of, you know, love languages. Cause I think, well, I think a lot of the society is starting to hear about this, but it's
mhm,
something that you really talk about in this dating thing. Okay. But with somebody who's been married for so long, so, your testimony is perfect for maybe somebody who's been in a marriage for 20, 25 years, 10 years, whatever it is. It can
totally.
change. It can change. You just have to really start communicating.
Yeah. It's total communication, and it's all about, um not looking like your partner like they've done something wrong to you, right? Because I think that's the tendency of, "Oh, they just don't care," or they're just not they just don't understand me," or whatever the case is. Well, yeah, no, they probably don't understand you because you probably don't understand what their actual love language on their end is either. It's like it's such a small thing, but it's such a huge thing at the end of the day. Like, it's
It
such
really
like,
is.
it's
So take
yeah.
the test.
Take
If you're
take the
listening,
take the test
go
and
take the
go
test.
learn, yeah, go learn about it, and then apply it to other people too. Like, apply it to your family and see what that looks like, and your friends, and have discussions with your girlfriend. That's fun when you talk about this stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I had a girlfriend, she moved to the other side of Canada, so we don't see each other very often, but hers was physical touch too, so when she would come over and the kids were playing and stuff, we would just sit on the couch and we'd cuddle together and we would yip yap, but we were, like, all melded together and cuddling together because that was just both of our love languages, and neither one of us probably really knew it at the time, but it was just normal, like, it was just we
And
both
here I
loved
am
that.
cringing. I'm like, ew,
You're like, "Ew, God,
what?
don't do that." Yeah, exactly,
Go wash my
exactly, right.
dishes. Show me you
Exactly.
love me.
Go
Wash my
go
dishes.
go do that. Yeah, exactly. Well, and see, I every now and then I'll go out if, like, Chris is off doing, ceramic coating a car, and he's got the truck and he's taking the truck some in the summertime, I'll go wash the vehicle, and the guy neighbors will come out and they're like, "You're washing your vehicle?" And I'm like, "Yes." "Oh, my wife would never do that." And I'm like, "But it's one of my husband's love languages is to have a bright, shiny, clean car." So I do
Yeah.
that for him. I don't necessarily do it for me, although
Yeah.
he's like, "You should do it for you because it makes the car nice." But it's
Yeah.
not for me, it's for him to do,
Yeah.
right? And it's an
Yeah.
act of service, which he loves.
Yeah.
So I do that because I know it's important to him and it fills his cup up at the end of the day when he comes home, he doesn't have to do it,
Right.
right?
So love ourselves, communicate what we
Yes.
need, and just show up with complete gratitude for the way that you're being loved, even if it's not as you
Even if
work
it
towards it.
yeah, as you work towards it, and don't be hard on yourself for not loving the right way or having been loved the right way. I think it's all a big learning process, and
Mm,
we all have the ability to go, like, get better at both.
mm. So, yeah, and that's the thing, like, I know that, um, friends of mine who have been married for so long have said, sometimes they'll feel like something is just off. Something is
Mm,
just feeling a little, um, like their cup isn't full. And
mm,
so this might be a good first step at creating that feeling.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
totally.
you did it. And you did it.
I did it, and like, literally did it in the weirdest way, and it's like, "Hey, I'm sorry. I've loved you the wrong way for 20 years." He's like, "What?" Right? "Let's talk." And that's all it took,
Oh,
literally.
yeah.
Let's chat
Yeah.
about why. So it is, yeah, it's possible to just when your cup's feeling low, when if e even in dating, right? "Hey, this is how I like to be shown up for. How do you like to
Mhm.
be shown up for?" And then it makes you'd say that right off the bat, it's probably gonna make things way different, right, at the
Yeah.
beginning. They might
Yeah.
look at you like you're crazy depending on who they are, but at least it's out there.
Yeah, and it just shows that again, you just know yourself that little bit more. It's just another tool to get to know who you are at your core.
Yeah, and just to be the authentic you without having to perform for the other person.
Yeah.
I'm so all about drop the performance. Let's just do this. Let's
I
just be
know.
who we are. Just drop it.
I think that's why we connect so well because we just kind of once you just turn the page into that chapter, it's kind of like you can't go back.
No, you totally can't go back. And sometimes it almost feels like I almost feel cruel, if that makes sense. Sometimes I almost feel cruel because I can't go back to performing. And I know there's certain people in my life that would love me to go back to the performance. And I'm like, I can't do it. I'm like, what you see is what you get now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And that's why people who you find, like people who come in that are your people, you just
Yeah,
know. You just know.
absolutely. Absolutely. And it's freeing to stop performing. So for viewers out there that have felt that or wanted to be like that or wanted to stop being in the performance is good. At the when you do it, when you start, like you said, you don't go back.
Mm.
I love
Well,
our conversations. They're so
me
good.
too. Me
I
too.
love our conversations. They're so, so good. And I love our viewers for watching. Thank you for everybody who subscribed and comes along the journey with us. I mean, we're just getting started at all this beautiful, beautiful talk. And I love that I can come on and be like, I'm just going to ask you this question. And then the dialogue just goes. And we're like, it's always purposeful and it's
It
so
is.
perfect. So if our viewers want to comment on what they want us to chit chat about, we'll create the dialogue because I'm sure we've been thinking about it. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed, come subscribe. Come be along the journey with us and know that you have value and worth in the world because I think some people need to hear that.
Yeah. And we love you.
We do. We love ourselves so much. We love you so much too. So
Even the
seriously,
messy. We love the messy,
even
maybe.
even the messy. The messy sometimes is the best part.
I actually like the messy.
Yeah, exactly. The messy's the
Yeah.
best part. It's where you learn the most.
Yeah, exactly.
It's where you
Exactly.
learn
I
the
know if you're
most.
my people really quickly when it's the messy, you're like, ooh,
Right?
that's why I love you.
Yeah, totally. Ooh, you're messy too. Yeah. Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
well, it was so good to talk to you today.
Yes, it's so good to talk to you too. Okay, until next time, we'll do this again, everybody. Thank you for being with us on Midlife with Mystics and Misfits. Bye.